right, good evening. I would like to take a minute and address a serious mold concern. My name is Thomas Bowman. I have no problem putting my name on this video. And I want to take a second. I've had a bunch of tests done, and I'm looking to have an additional set of tests, and something in the amount of about $1,100, which seems ridiculous, but if it has to be taken out of my family's budget, it'll have to be taken out of that budget because I need these tests. And ultimately, I'm quite upset with this whole situation. I want you to know I've been totally ghosted by Gold's Gym. And ultimately, I think I presented a heck of a case here. And so let me just start by saying that I have had a serious sore throat. At one point, I thought my neck was swollen, right? I had that swollen tongue, back of my throat, nasal thing going on. And I feel it, not in my lungs yet, but you have that heaviness, that kind of thing. And just in the last 24 hours, I started getting the chills in the back of my back. And my doctor's got me on an antibiotic, okay, because he found some kind of upper respiratory thing going on. But I can tell you that I am very healthy, and I really have other things going on. I have muscle soreness. I have all kinds of stuff going on in my body. I have things going on in my stomach. There's something going on where I seriously have some kind of something in my stomach that I feel seriously, I eat anything, I'm seriously bloated real quickly. And so as I started doing research on all this, those are all the prime things related to toxic mold poisoning. And honestly, I don't see how anybody can disagree that there's something wrong with that sauna that I'm sitting in. And honestly, I think there's a simple solution here to get me to go away. All right, there are several people that have used that thing, right? There's a lot of people that use that sauna. And so I personally know there was a guy in there scenting the room every day because it stinks. It stinks like mold. But he was scenting it all the time. Honestly, dude, this stuff can sit in your intestines, stuff like that. It can colonize. It might take 6 months, 9 months. You really need to take these tests also, right? It's called a mycotoxin test and some kind of oat test, right? And so ultimately, another symptom that I have this hypoxia, okay? Most of my stuff is on my medical chart is low to small, but this one here is actually elevated. I'm only elevated by 1.5, but there's not much on the elevated side, that I could go before I think it turns either red or I'm at the peak of it. Like, really. And honestly, my doctor, okay, I've never met my doctor, right? My doctor here is a PA, right? And the PA honestly had to go Google mold toxicity and the symptoms of mold. He really did not know. And then he ordered all the wrong tests, sent me down to get blood drawn for allergy tests, and then I had to go and do all this research to actually get him to order the right test. It made me wait a whole 24 hours before he actually ordered this test. Then he partially ordered the tests. And so honestly, I've had a heck of a time. I'm exhausted. I don't feel well. I'm sick. I'm starting to run a temperature. And I get that could all just be that little head cold, but I'm telling you, got other things going on, and those other things that all been going on and been getting worse all month. Now, honestly, you could ask anybody that knows me, and a few people do. But those that do know me know that I don't even like aspirin. All right, I'm somebody that likes to, all right, and I definitely inhale. But I also have my card through the state, okay? And honestly, I just tell you, that's my thing. I like my little puff, and that is it. No aspirin, no other drugs, no other bullshit, all right? An occasional sip of whiskey, but that's been cut out of my diet just about 100% for some time here now because, well, I'm the caretaker of a 100% disabled veteran who was a Vietnam veteran, and he was actually down there for the Cuba Missile Crisis. He was actually a radio man on one of the ships down there, and they were chasing the first ever nuclear-armed submarine, where the Russians actually had a little mini nuke they could have just lobbed up and dived the boat, and they could have wiped out our entire Navy with one bomb. Yeah, we didn't even know that existed, but it's all, you can Google that. Anyway, so my father was down there, and honestly, I'm his number one caretaker. The man relies on me. I've been isolated here because of this sore throat 4 weeks or so. I have not been able to go down there and take care of him directly. It's just not, he's separated himself completely. He has a girlfriend, thank goodness. We lost my mother about 4 years ago. And ultimately, I'm going to lose him, but before he loses me to some stupid shit, all right, that really shouldn't be, honestly, take a second, all right, and I got a New Yorker buddy that sat in there with me. He's in there every morning between 5 and 6. He's been training, working out hard. Honestly, dude, you've got to get tested. You've got to have you got to have this full panel, and really, the one test is $5.99, the other one's like $3.99, and then really there's a whole bunch of other tests that need to be done to ultimately, and I'm pretty certain it's going to come back. We all have like similar type things popping up. And it really is offensive that the gym did not even test, and it's even more offensive that there's not a health department mandate, right? Honestly, I called the health department. It was like, just call the health department. Do you have any idea the effort that I just put forth to get these people to stand accountable, just even in a small amount? I wasn't going to make a huge fight out of this, but now I'm going to have to make a fight. I got to pick a fight. Honestly, they've ignored me. They've ghosted me. It's like 9 or 10 days. I'm not feeling well, and I'm getting crankier and crankier and crankier. So I think I'm on like 7 social networks now. But I'm really going to step it up. I'm going to step it up. And so I even had somebody to offer to come picket with me now. Hey, thank you. I missed it. I saw it was like 24 hours ago you posted that. But I appreciate it. Yes, I will be trying to, it's hard to organize things. Honestly, we had a whole dating group. We tried to organize stuff. Nobody ever showed up, right? So really, it's going to be most mornings. I think morning's the coolest time to do it. And I'm thinking, the gym opens, obviously way too early. It's dark. But be out there, I think 7 a.m., 7:15 is probably when I'm going to be there. And I'm pretty much going to commit to be out there if I have to, as long as I can walk and I'm not feeling horrible. Today, I was too sick to actually think about it. I just don't feel like doing it and everything. So I really took a second and I made some notes. They're laying all over the place. And so, yes, let's see here. There's also a cleaning lady. And so I wanted to also mention that next door, there was a whole thread going on next door. There's the social network actually that, if you're looking for like news and updates and all that stuff on the actual crimes and stuff that are going on in your neighborhood and around you, nextdoor.com will connect you with them. But there are problems on Nextdoor. It's a lot of very political, horrible place, right? But at least you get to hear, when somebody steals a gun from somebody's car, or there's some crazy something that happens that really you just never get through the news or through, any other method, right? Even crime maps or crimemapping.com that is recommended through the sheriff of Volusia County, that is very inaccurate. In fact, I could tell you that I know of like 3-4 different events just in the last 60 days that never showed up on that crime map. And so, honestly, let's get back on target here, okay? I addressed Brian Warren. He's the CEO of Gold's Gym. Danny Wagner, he's another CEO, and it's all owned by the RSG Group. The RSG Group they own a whole bunch of gyms, not just Gold's, but there's other ones. And ultimately, all I'm trying to do is get some kind of something going, and so I created a petition. I think it's important that the governor, Ron DeSantis, take a second. I know you're real busy. It's an election year, all right? But I think people have been poisoned, and I'm willing to put my face directly on here and say, hey, somebody needs to maybe take a better look than the health department telling me, oh, we'll send code enforcement over, Mr. Denzel Sykes, right? Never got back to me. I sent him a whole email, evidence, showed him the pictures, the video. He didn't even respond to my email. That's how bad Daytona Beach code enforcement is. And so, and I'm told that all he could do is go in there and cite them for dirt. For dirt. Honestly, I'm dumbfounded by the whole thing. Honestly, Mr. DeSantis, I'm a little fish out here, but I'm sick. These guys really are just, I got to take this money out of our budget, and it really offends me, and I'm really on the fence of not doing it at all. I just sit here, and when you find me even sicker, eventually I'll get the test. Honestly, I really believe that. I think at some point I'll bitch enough to where I'll get these tests, but I don't think that it should be coming out of our household budget and stuff like that, especially since the VA just failed my father. They took all most of his teeth out of his head over a year and a half, almost 2 years. Community care is the worst I've seen, really. It's a horrible, and so is just the general doctor stuff here. Good luck finding a doctor if you're coming to Daytona Beach. Honestly, just getting an ear, nose, and throat specialist to look at me, it's going to be like, it's a month out. And thank goodness I already had something scheduled, back, because, anyway, doesn't matter. I'm going to get taken care of. But I want to take a second. I really wanted to mention Nextdoor banned the entire article, right? And so that should upset you. If you're somebody on Nextdoor and you actually like to have information about what's going on in your local community, you should probably be up in arms about that, because they took my article down. And honestly, there was a lady there who was cleaning the Ormond Beach location a year ago, and she says it's just as bad. So honestly, that's potentially 4 different saunas owned by the same 2 franchise owners. Come on. Honestly, Golds, what are you doing? Honestly, if people start getting tests, I think you guys are going to be in big trouble. And honestly, I'm willing to stand up for this one. It really, really upsets me. I'm not able to take care of my responsibilities here. I've been feeling like crap. And ultimately, I'm failing a man that I really don't want to fail. And so I created a petition to Ron DeSantis. I'm hoping you'll sign it. Take a minute. And all the petition is for is to have some kind of health department mandate that requires saunas to be, if somebody's like, hey, there's something growing in a sauna, they should be able to go in there and just shut it down and test it. All right? It shouldn't be all that, what's that cost us? Nothing. Honestly. I think there are sick people. My New Yorker buddy, the guy that was scenting the walls in there, the guy that was in there when I made that second video when I swabbed, okay? I want you to know that I'm not a mold remediation guy. I bought a $9 mold kit at Home Depot because really I thought that would incentivize Golds to actually take immediate action. And I don't even know if they cleaned up the mess. I don't know if that thing's still sitting like that. That would even be worse. Honestly, if you're sitting inside that thing, get the fuck out of it. What are you doing? You're going to die. Anyway. What else I got to say about it? I'm concerned about my well-being. I'm concerned about all of this mycotoxin type stuff and mold. Headaches, swollen neck, the fatigue, the weakness. Mold colonizes inside your body. Bleach, if they just went in there and bleached it, it probably made it way worse. Honestly, seriously, go to ChatGPT. Ask it a couple questions. And you can be complex because it's not just like Google where you get to ask like 2 words, right? You get to ask like 3 or 4 or 5 questions, sentences. It will answer you, and then you can ask sub-questions, and it will give you all more information. And honestly, I think you'll find that this is a very dangerous situation. We need some kind of, at minimum, mold, not just saunas, but mold in public places, all right? Mold in public places cannot be allowed, and that should be immediately on the owners of that facility. Whatever it be, if it's the YMCA, if it's LA Fitness, if it's Gold's Gym, if it's whatever, right? There should be a mandate, and I'm gonna just stop right there because I think I've burnt out for the evening. Yeah, it's moist, it's sweaty, it's dark. People are dumping water on the stones. There's so much moisture in there, and that moisture isn't coming from a mop, okay? And so yeah, please. The girl that was on Nextdoor, I didn't write down your name. You were cleaning that thing. You need a test, and honestly, I hope you'll reach out to me. I'm not that hard to find. Please drop me a note somewhere, and I will reach out to you. I think, I really want to take your statement about what you saw over there inside their sauna. And honestly, for somebody that's in the saunas right now, take some pictures. Honestly, I think you should be sticking a camera up underneath that seat, right? Because I'm pretty sure that mold grows in dark, hot, humid, wet places, right? And so, yeah, that light bulb doesn't even work inside the thing. And really, it's gross. It's gross. People are scenting the place with little jars, little scents, like you're spritting things on things. Yeah, that's because it stinks really bad, and that's mold, all right, and mycotoxins, all right? So Google that. Google mold and what is a mycotoxin, right? It's the spores that are on mold. Yeah? Every time somebody sits down on the bench, poof. All right, hey, take a second, think about the petition, and definitely I think that's going to be it for the evening here. I just, I gave up my weed license like a month ago because I was feeling like shit, right? So, yeah, wow, I need to get that thing back real quick. I don't want to die before I have another puff. Yeah. And instead, I'm taking all these damn antibiotics and charcoal, activated charcoal and other shit. I got to go fast for a day to try to clean out my intestines. Just honestly, Gold's Gym, Ron DeSantis, please, somebody, don't take this money out of my family's budget, please. He just put out $8,500 because the VA filled him on his teeth to a private thing because they just honestly retarded community care. Anyway. How about a like, a share, take a second, sign the petition. I'm going to come out. I'm going to try to get out there, to try to picket and do things. Honestly, this could be proven. This could have been wrapped up already. Somebody could have just gotten some testing done. And ultimately, and I think it could be proven one way or the other. You get one of those 2 people I saw sitting in there quite often and have them tested with these 2 tests. And there are support groups on Facebook. That's where I'm at. I'm actually on these two big groups. One has like 23,000 members. One has 68,000 members. And you can just Google mold toxicity into the Facebook search bar for groups. And you could join. You can actually probably follow along with a very lot of information about mold that's popping up. And the many, many different illnesses that it ultimately leads to after this shit colonizes inside your body, takes over, reduces your immune system, and then makes you really sick. All right. Thanks for stopping by. Have a great day.